What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the video. So today decided to do a video on boosting your 8-gen Civic FA5 FG2. If you have a single cam, an R18, an FG1 or FA1, it is going to be different because obviously it's a whole nother motor. But this is just pertaining to the guys who have a K20 Z3 or you have a K24 swap or any K series in your 8-gen chassis. Before I begin, so as you see by the title as well, Import Alliance. I'm just curious, how many of you guys are going? I didn't even knew Import Alliance was in March 28th, I think. My birthday is on the 30th of March. I'm just curious how many of you guys are going. I only recently knew because if you guys watch Vasila Garage, he said he's going, and I was like, I checked it, I was like, oh damn, I didn't know that was coming up in March. So 2 days before my birthday. That's pretty cool. I just want to know who's going. I would like to bring the car out if I can figure out what's going on with this clutch situation. I'm doing some further diagnostics. I've already took the slave cylinder and the master cylinder out. I already bled the system, but I came up with another problem where the car is not starting, and I've already dialed it down to the starter. So the starter's bad, so not a cheap replacement. Honda starters are not cheap, so just get that figured out. But if you guys are going and you guys comment on this video, man, I really try to bust some ass out. And if I just got to put an OEM replacement clutch in just to get the car in, just to meet you guys and see the car, I don't mind. I don't need to hit on it really, which would be dope. But if you guys are going and if you guys comment on the bottom, I would definitely love to meet you guys. I'll probably go anyways just to do some video editing, and I need to take the Speed 3 valve cover to my buddy Corey. He's down in the Atlanta area anyway, so that'd be a good opportunity. The speed block is at the machine shop if you guys are curious. Thank you guys for watching that last video. So I'm gonna get an update on that. Hopefully it can be saved. But let's just get right into this video. So I've been on K28.org, and I've seen a lot of also the 8-gen forums and on Facebook, and hearing a lot of guys are asking questions on boosting their 8-gen Civic. Now how I learned, I just looked online, looked at a few pictures. There's not much information, so to speak, on how to boost your 8-gen Civic, because in general boosting a car is pretty much basic, but as far as the fitment for these chassis, there's not much information on it. So let's first start with the manifold. Alright family, so like I said, let's start with the exhaust manifold. Now everything that I'm going to say here, just like I tell all the guys who message me privately, take everything that Kadeen Willock says with a grain of fucking salt, because we know people, everybody want to be a keyboard warrior. I don't mind when people correct me. If it's one thing I respect, I love when people help me. If I come off humble to you, man, just give me the same respect, you know what I'm saying? So like I tell all the people that message me, man, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because people are really quick to correct, So I'm running a K-Mod Sidewinder. I'm nowhere affiliated with the company. I got this with a good deal, including the intercooler setup. The person that had this kit never ran it. Unfortunately, the FA5, their car got rear-ended, and they posted up on the 8-gen page on Facebook, and I knew that shit wasn't gonna last long. Thank God I had the money at the time, and I just ran on it. Now, I had a PLM Sidewinder for this car before. I already bought everything. However, after doing some research, and folks who have boosted their FA5 and their FG2, thank God for the agent page. I was watching this guy. He had an FG2 and he had a PLM kit, and he had to do some trimming on this top piece. Now, if you don't care and you want to do all that work, it's all up to you. It's your car. I didn't mind, but I didn't want to go through all that work and having to take the car and the chassis somewhere to get welded, and I don't have that accessibility. So I sold that, and like I said, I bought this. You guys probably won't believe me because it has a shitty, itchy ass fiberglass wrapping on it, which I'm gonna take off and have it coated. But I'll show some pictures that I took while I was building the car from 2017. So K-Mod T3 setup with a V-band 44mm setup. I'm running a tile waste gauge if you're curious. Tile in VR. 10-pound spring. I didn't notice any boost creep, or James didn't notify me of any boost creep while we're on the dyno. I think the wastegate placement is pretty decent, which is something you want to look out for on some of those kits. Some of them come off as an angle piece, which is not going to work on this chassis. Now, I may be wrong. If you're a good fabricator, do what you got to do. As we know, there's lots of style exhaust manifolds for the K series. You have the log style. I've seen a log style work on this. K-Mod actually had a log style that worked on this. I'm sure you can make decent power with the log style. It's real close to the turbo, so it'll spool quicker. You have the ram style, which your turbo sits all the way down here, which I don't like. To each his own. I don't like it. The guy who dynoed before me that day, his FG2, he's running a full AGP kit, and one of the couplers came off, and it was a bitch to get to when he started making boosts. So yeah, there's a ram horn setup, and obviously there's this sidewinder setup. What I like about the sidewinder, obviously it looks cool. You have easy access to your turbo if you need to do any maintenance or whatever. You need to remove it. Putting it in the car wasn't hard. A little scenario I ran into when installing my sidewinder. I put the motor back in the car, motor, transmission, whatever. However, I didn't install the sidewinder right away because I still had to wrap it. This is when the car was still parked over here where the Mazda Speed is. Like I said, I still had a wrapping and all that. And when the day came for me to install it, it wasn't hard, really. The only issue I ran into was just having to catch the alignment studs on the back. And once I was able to, align it, I just used one of the nuts, tighten it up slowly, and I used some angle ratchet kit, which is pretty handy, and just tighten like the top part and all that. It wasn't bad for me. It took some time, because I was by myself, and the subframe was not installed yet. However, I don't know how it would be if you had the subframe in the car. So say you just wanted to boost the car, you don't want to pull the motor out. You still have to drop the subframe anyways, because your oil pan will not remove unless you drop that subframe. So might as well have everything planned. You're gonna do it as a one-time shot, because you have to drop your oil pan so you can tap it and have it welded. So yeah, what else? If you're gonna pull the motor, it probably easy. Just install it while the motor is in the car. When you're gonna drop it back into the chassis, I don't know if you're gonna run into the situation, but my wastegate unfortunately hit the top of my windshield while I have a big ass crack. So you want to watch out for when you're lowering the motor into the engine bay. It's really tight. As far as the exhaust setup, I'm still running an open downpipe with a turn down welded to it. This downpipe was intentional, built for an RSX. So the O2 sensor locations is pretty close to the subframe. So this is where, you know, a lot of fabrication has to come in, where if you're running, I guess, like a log style or a full race or an AGP ram horn kit, you know, it comes with everything, you know, the full race, 3-inch, all that. But like I said, fabrication, it'll fix all that. I wasn't in a rush to run a full exhaust. I do plan on running a full exhaust if I have to move emission purposes, so I can run the secondary O2 sensor. But you know, car's loud, so as it is right now. With the intercooler setup, this is K-Mod as well. Like I said, I got it as with a good deal. On to intercooler piping, intercooler setup. So the piping is a K-Mod kit. This is the IAT right down here. This is a V-band setup. It's a 50mm Q, tile Q blow valve. The intercooler itself is a vertical flow, full race. I got all this from the guy. However, I had to buy this myself from Full Race. Thank God you can just buy that as a replacement piece. You don't have to purchase the whole kit just to get that bar. So that was a good thing, because I didn't know what I would have done at this point when it comes to bolting up the intercooler. It doesn't come pre-drilled. You have to drill the holes out yourself, so you know where your fitment is to your couplers, if that makes any sense. I kind of messed up my fitment. It's not bad, but the couplers that came with the K-Mod kit didn't work, so I had to go on jegs.com. I'm sure we all know about jegs, and I bought just some, I think they were 6-inch 2.5 couplers, and they were long enough, and I think I bought a 12-inch just in case, and it all worked out. However, I still ran into a few issues where it still blew off, because this one I cut it too close. This was probably be another topic. You know, I'm sure you guys know you rotate your housing to where your fitment is going to be. Obviously, you still want to look out for your feed and your drain. Make sure it's 12/6. But I kind of messed up on that part. But as far as a plug-and-play kit for the FA5, man, other than K-Mod, I'm not sure of any other company who makes a full intercooler kit for these cars, man. Other than, again, Full Race, AJP. But if you're running a Sidewinder setup, I don't know from other company. I don't know of anybody else who has any kits. If you know, please leave your comments down bottom. This piping wasn't made to work with the Full Race. That was one problem as well. K-Mod, he used Threadstone pipe intercooler, vertical flow intercooler. The Threadstone doesn't have this extra, you know, piece going off there. So, you know, if you buy the kit from him, you'll probably get everything. Some of the kits that I see people have that are fabricated, their piping from the turbo itself goes down in here. As you can see, mine just, you know, it's kind of tucked, which I like, but I have to run another weird elbow piece down in here. Also, I had to do some trimming to the chassis as well. That wasn't a big deal. Just got an angle grinder. Made sure I wore my PPE, because you're gonna have a bunch of shavings flying all over the place, and I got that to fit properly. But yeah, other than that, man, everything worked. I thought I had to go and buy a Threadstone, but like I said, I made this intercooler work. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's any other company that makes a full, like I said, Full Race, K-Mod, AJP, but say if you just want to buy the intercooler by itself with the piping, I'm not sure if there's any other company who does that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I like to do another series as far as how to, which I mean you find that online, but you know how I ran my oil and my drain line. It's pretty much straightforward, but I like to do that when I have the motor out of the car. But yeah, that's pretty much on the turbo kit, man. It's nothing hard. It's not rocket science. But do not go into it naive, thinking it's just going to be a plug and play. Err on the side of having to fabricate something, some little part, no matter if it's just a silicone coupler. And I'm sure you guys would like to know my opinion as well on eBay full turbo kits, especially the Rev 9, which I see most of the time when I do searches on eBay. As we know, I'm running a Rev 9 6266 a T3 turbo, pretty decent, made 571. Damn near made the 6, but that's a whole different story. Still running good. It has the necessary, you guys probably can't see much on the camera, but it has no crazy excessive play. Obviously you want to have some play because it's a clearance machine piece. It's not supposed to be stiff, but once it has oil in it and had some oil ran through it, you know, it's still good, man. Still good. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. So the only problem with that turbo is it has a 0.65 AR. It's real small, but it spools up pretty decent for the streets. So when it comes to the full kits, now I've seen that they're marketing for the A-Gen chassis, mostly so for the EP3 and the DC5. I'm not sure it's a plug and play. I would suggest not to go into a turbo kit think it's going to be plug and play anyways. Always err on the side of having to do some sort of little fabrication work. But they claim on the site that it works on the FA5 chassis. I'm not sure about that. As far as the quality, I'm not sure about that either. Obviously I have the turbo, it's holding up pretty well. As far as the Sidewinder, I don't know if it's a V-band setup or just a regular pancake style, you know, oval shape style, you know, wastegate flange setup. I'm not sure. So that's something that you as a buyer would have to consider and think if it's worth it. Depends on how much you want to put in the car, you know what I'm saying? If you're just going for the quick power and that's all you're just gonna say, okay, I'm happy with that. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm already bored of the 571 and I haven't even driven the car that much, but I'm already power hungry. But that's not the way to look into it. But as far as you knowing that you're going to be comfortable with that, I know I'm not going to be comfortable with 571 for the rest of my life with this car. I'm going to want to make more power. So you have to know what kit is best for you and if it's not going to prematurely fail. So yeah, that's my take on the eBay kits. So that's my take on it, guys. Again, let me know if you guys are going to IA. Even if I don't drive the car, I'm just go for some video purposes and take some parts to get powder coated for the miles of speed. But I sure like to drive the car, man. I just want to show you guys a car. That's one of the main reasons why I built it. You know, just to drive it around. You know, something like what Daniel's doing, something like what Vasily does with Monica. You know, just drive the car around and just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? If I just have to sacrifice to put a weaker clutch in it, ask James to turn the power down, or just run on the wastegate pressure for now, I don't mind, to be honest with you. So with all that being said, leave your comments, let me know what you guys think. Channel is slowly growing, 916, much love, respect, and just keep punching out those videos. So I'm gonna put this camera down. Hope you guys had a good Valentine. Hope you guys had a good one. I'm gonna try to get this starter out and wait till the next one comes in, and hopefully we can get this car started. So peace, much love, family.